Have you ever had a situation where you're trying your best to open a can, but your can opener just keeps doing this? In this video, I'll show you what's important when choosing a can opener. I'll show you the difference between something like this, which for me works really poorly, for something like this, which works really well. And I'll explain to you the differences between the two, how you can spot which can opener will work for you and which one probably won't. This is the can opener we've been using. Now it just doesn't do the job. And this is the can opener we have now. You can see it working here in this clip. And I'll explain to you now why we chose this particular can opener. This is the gear wheel here. When you rotate, this is what pushes against the edge of the can. And when you clamp it down, this blade pushes into the edge of the can. And as you rotate, can feeds around here in an arc like this. And then this blade puts into the side of the can. Now what's been happening is as we've been rotating, this knurled wheel has just been slipping on the side of the can. So even though you imagine the can is like this, there's nothing that will go through. What we've got here is a new can opener. I chose this one yesterday. And you can see here, if you look at the knurled wheel compared to this one, see the much smaller points, and in all respects, much sharper points than on this can opener here. When we close this one, you can see the amount of overlap there compared to when we close this one, the amount of overlap here is much more. So really, when you're looking for your can opener, you need a large overlap between the cutting wheel and the feed wheel. This is the wheel that feeds the can through the cutting wheel. You need a large overlap here. You need these teeth on the feed wheel to be nice and pointy so that they grip really well on the edge of the can when you rotate. The other difference between these two, as I rotate this, cutting wheel isn't rotating, whereas on this new one, you look down here, there is a cog here and a cog here. When you turn, those cogs interconnect. So what's happening is as this wheel is feeding the can through, as that rotates, this cog is also turning the cutting wheel. So that's giving you effectively a rotating cutting wheel and a rotating feed wheel, which are simultaneously pushing that can through the cutting wheel. This is much more efficient than this. So there we go. Hopefully that's given you some idea of what to look for when you're buying a can opener. As a general rule, very cheap can openers perform well across all types of cans. As you get up to around the £10 mark, your choice gets much more across all different types of can openers. So around the £10 mark, you could get something like this, or you could get something like this. For me, the hand feel is very important. This has got a really good grip, and this handle feels solid. Feels like when I'm turning this, I'm going to get lots of leverage into that feed wheel and cutting wheel. Whereas this one feels very small in my hand. It actually is a little bit more awkward to use because it's much smaller. This can is a particularly challenging can though. So if your can opener can open this type of can, which is got a wide rim here, very deep recess on top, and the can itself is very thick at the top here. If your can opener can open this type of can, then you've got a really good can opener. This particular can is especially challenging for this little can opener. And what we're finding is the spacing between the feed wheel and the cut wheel isn't wide enough to properly get into the slightly thinner part of the can down here. So this is failing to cut open this can. Here's the new can opener. Let's get it on there. And then you can see how easily that just ropes with that can all the way around, and it's done. And there we go. Old can opener versus new can opener. For me, this was the obvious choice. If you found this video useful, give it a like. If you've chosen a can opener which does or doesn't work, add a comment down below and let me know how you got on. And all that's left for me to say now is take care, have fun. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye for now.